January 8, 1943. Dear Margie. Well, darling, here it is Friday evening, 6:30 to be exact, by my gift from a lovely wife, and I expect she will be on her way home or just leaving the office, right? We have had a few cold days work and study. Tomorrow is the final test and won't be sorry when it's over. We had demonstrations with the explosives today. Each lad had to load a crater and light it. It was funny to see the faces on some of the kids when they started to cut the stuff. They looked as if the thing was going to blow up in their hands. They were loaded pretty heavy, and it was interesting to see some of the shots go. The officer has just come in to give us a recap for tomorrow, so we'll have to hurry this through. I am trying to write it sitting on the bed, and the fellows playing crap below keep shaking it. I think I will have to yell at them again. I doed it. Had quite an experience yesterday afternoon, or I should say last night. I had to parade to the MO. When I went in, I was asked to strip and had a real tough medical exam, the toughest yet. After it was over, the doctor said, "You're okay." After some more questioning, I asked what it was all about and was told I had passed my first medical for the paratroops. I let it go until I saw the officer today. So now I must be paraded to the orderly room and tell them my wife won't let me go. I certainly would like to go, but I know how you would feel, and after all, dear, you come first in everything. But just think, darling, I did pass the medical and I really got a good sounding. There were 5 of us gone over from 3 companies, but only 2 of us got through. The other lad is going on, but I doubt if he makes it beyond Manning Pool. Well, darling, I hope this weather holds out for the weekend at least, so I can get some skiing in. The weather so far has been perfect, not too cold and lots of snow and sunshine. I wish we were going out together. Well, darling, I should be leaving here about 2 weeks tomorrow. I hope to find out for sure this weekend. Guess this is all the news, dear. All my love, Margie. Gosh, I miss you. Will write tomorrow. Your loving husband. As ever. Roger XXXX. January 9, 1943. Dear Margie. Well, darling, here it is Saturday noon. We have just finished our demolition test and I feel sure I came out okay. So that just leaves bridging and field services to finish up with. The latter is quite simple, but bridging is the toughest yet. So far, I haven't flunked in a subject and have 2 perfect papers to my credit, so I'm quite satisfied to date. Have washing to do this afternoon, and then if there is time, I will try the skis out for an hour or so. The boys are getting excited over the furlough, as we should be out of here in 2 weeks' time, but don't know the exact date as yet. Gosh, darling, just think, 14 whole days together. Darling, this letter was just interrupted by the officer coming in and parading me to the major. I thought it was for the paratroops, but I have been recommended to the major for a commission. He asked me a few questions and after the interview said he would recommend me to the colonel. Of course, it's far from authentic and may never go through. I would probably have to take a senior NCO course first, as well anti-aircraft work to take. However, it's a start, a something. About the leave, it should come up the 22nd of this month. I forgot to mention it before. Well, darling, this is all the paper. I haven't had my dinner. I missed it going to the major, so we'll get something at the canteen. We'll write again tomorrow, dearest. All my love, Margie. As ever. Roger XXXX. P.S. Keep the commissioning news under your hat, dear, as it's only a prospect. January 10, 1943. Dear Margie. Well, darling, this is Sunday evening. I have just returned from skiing and it's been a perfect day, although a little cloudy. The snow was fast and the hills long and steep. We found a bunch of new trails by 4 o'clock. There were over 200 men on the trails, some really good. About 50 of us started follow the leader a Finnish officer, and was he good. When he would yell 4 trail, the rest would watch us come down. I was fairly lucky, only fell twice, but they were dandies. I have never traveled so fast on skis before and can hardly wait until next week. The main hill reminded me of the long slope at High Park sloping to the pond, only here it's easily 3 times as long and twice as steep. Studded with pine shrubs to duck around. The army had an ambulance at the front of the big hill each Sunday to pick up the wounded, but so far there has been no casualties. Just a few sprains and broken skis. The lads going in the paratroops are leaving tonight for Montreal, the lucky birds. There must be about 15 from the whole camp going, mostly engineers. Of course, only half of them will make Georgia, at least they will get the trip. I think I could make it if any of the lads that went through with me can. Got a parcel from the Hydro last night. It was sent to Aurelia for Christmas and had 100 cigarettes with greeting card. Came in handy as I was pretty low in smoke and cash, but payday comes this week. Well, sweetheart, you came pretty near close on January 22nd as the start of my furlough leave. The officer says that's the day it should come up and we must count on it as the day, however they might hold us until the Monday. Just think, dear, 2 weeks from tonight I will be with you, and for 2 whole weeks, will we go to town? I have about $25 in the bank, dear, and should get another 20 from the army. That should take care of the fares pretty well, darling, shouldn't it? Well, darling, can't think of much more to say. The folks didn't know whether Jack will be home or not, but I hope so we could go to Haileybury for all or part of the second week, couldn't we? But we can decide what to do when we get together. Quick decisions are always the most fun. If things are planned, something always goes haywire, I think. Well, darling, until tomorrow, all my love, dearest. As ever. Roger XXXX.